Greetings, it's Vaygrim, back with another episode of Hot Blocks. On this particular episode, we're actually going to readdress last episode. Now, as most of you will remember, we had the house that we built last episode, and I had little hidden chests all over the place. Whoops. Ah, there's another one. There's one. Well, I realized that there is a block that I use even more than the hidden chest for storage that has even more functionality, and I've never had it on Hot Blocks. I thought that was a bit of a miss on my part, so I thought I would bring to you the Carpenter's safe from Carpenter's blocks. Now, this thing can be textured to look like the outside. Now, actually, what I'm going to do, go around to the back here real quick. You'll notice this entire house looks like palm wood, but you'll notice with Wayla, there's 1, 2, 3 Carpenter's safes. The rest of it does look like palm wood. So safes are not meant for hiding. They are meant for discretionary, not secret storage. You want a storage location that you don't want to advertise, but you don't mind if it shows up. Now, the reason these things are good, you'll notice they have a little handle right here, and they have a UI, the meter, with a couple of lights. Now, this can be changed with the Carpenter's hammer. Carpenter's hammer is real simple. A couple of Carpenter's blocks and a couple of iron ingots. 3 iron ingots. You can shift, right-click, and you can unlock or lock the safe. What does that mean? Well, that means that if it's locked, only the owner can open it. If it's unlocked, anybody can open it. That means you can actually have storage that you can selectively lock and unlock. Now, that's good in and of itself, but it gets even better. These things actually have, using the hammer again, a simple right click. If you shift right click, it changes the lock status. But if you simply right click, you can change what kind of automation there is. Items can be extracted only. Items can be inserted only. Items can be inserted and extracted, or you can disable automation entirely, which means you can have this extract valuables from, let's say, some machine you're trading with, like a let's say you have a setup that you want to trade with using Steve's Factory Manager. I'm doing this in my Resident Rise series. I'm selling jerky, and I want to get the coins that people are paying me and put them in a location where people will not be motivated to go steal. Well, what I'm doing is I'm having it all put into a Carpenter's safe through automation, because once it gets in, the safe is locked and items can only be inserted. That's how I have it set, which means that people can't pump stuff out. So you can actually have things automatically pumped into a Carpenter safe and nobody else can get to it but you. And I think that's worthy of Hot Block status. Now, there's a couple of other interesting things you can do with these. I'm just going to get myself some stacks of this palm wood real quick. And if you'll notice the user interface, you'll notice that it even has a little bit of a UI to tell you how full it is. So if we fill this one up, you'll notice that meter fills up real quick. If we just put a couple of stacks of stuff in here, that one's only got a little bit in it. This one, next to nothing. So you can actually see at a glance how much storage volume you have left. I think a lot of chests should have that. I actually think that's worthy of attention right there. But when you factor into it, it's not terribly expensive. The most expensive part of it is the iron block in the middle. Yes, it does take 9 iron ingots to make, but it has security built into it, and I think that's worthy. The rest of it is simply Carpenter's blocks, which is sticks surrounding a piece of wooden plank. That's it. That gives you 5. So this thing is cheap on wood, 1 piece of redstone, but a little expensive on iron. But I do think it's worth it. I think it's worth attention because of what you can do with this hammer and this safe. You can secure and ensure so many things. Between making automation possible, between security options to allow you or you and your friends to use it, I really do think it's a wondrous thing. Now, what's even better is that these are single block chests that work with 0 height clearance. They open sideways. And here's the other cool thing. You can see these from the back, right? Carpenter safe. They do unfortunately still open from the back, but if you secure them, people will know they're there. So, between these and a little bit of security, you can put these inside your... I would actually never put these on a wall that's shared with the outside, but you can put these around your base, interior walls. One trick that I've even done, you know what, I'm going to borrow this one. I'm going to borrow a stack of this. I'm going to put this like that. Then you have no clue that's there unless somebody specifically targets that block. Now, Carpenter's blocks used to have lighting issues, and you'll be able to tell right away because this had a weird shadow on it, but that's been solved in recent updates. So I really do think this merits attention. You can turn this into as much of a hidden safe as you want, and you can still see what status it's got for lock and unlock because of text. I want to lock it and disable automation entirely, all through the hammer, and you can still use it. 0 clearance to open and close, just like the hidden chest. You can turn it into a hidden chest. It has permissions for both access and for automation. So I think this really does make... Let's put those in there. I think this really does make the Carpenter safe a worthy addition to Hot Blocks. A lot of people don't know that you can actually restrict automation on this. A lot of people don't know that you can adjust the permissions. And I think I would be remiss for not pointing that out. So, this has been Vaygrim in another episode of Hot Blocks. I do sincerely hope that you have found this educational and enlightening. As always, I appreciate you spending your time swinging by and watching my videos. I'll see you later on the next episode of Hot Blocks. Bye.